Good evening. Welcome to Soundtracks with Birdman. Tonight, H. Boomer and I are watching my personal favorite James Bond film, The Living Daylights. I don't know if it's Boomer's favorite film. Is it, Boomer? Boomer?
Bond movie? No.
No? Not your
No.
favorite? What is your favorite Bond movie?
The Spy Who Loved Me.
Okay, what was her name?
Agent Triple X.
Oh, okay.
Some Russian name, but her code name was Agent
right.
Triple X. That was her name. Yeah, no, I mean this is a good movie, but I like I like Spy Who Loved Me the best, which is odd since Moore is not my favorite Bond, not even my second favorite Bond, but that is my favorite Bond movie, which is weird. But
Okay,
yeah.
well, you brought it up. So rank Bond in your personal preference.
Rank Bond in my personal preference.
Yeah, who's your number one Bond?
Okay, number one Bond is Connery. I know that's the safe answer, but I still think Connery's the best. Then it's probably Pierce Brosnan, then Roger Moore, then Timothy Dalton. Nothing against Dalton. I feel he needed more movies, and he would have gotten them if License to Kill hadn't done so poorly. George Lazenby, and then probably Daniel Craig. I'm putting poor Daniel Craig at the bottom, which I'll get into next week. But it's okay. Everyone has their favorites. I don't know. I guess I don't know if I'm like the critical drinkers thing. I don't know what his order was.
Sean Connery was number one. I think Pierce Brosnan.
I don't know why Connery's the best. Part of the problem is too, it's also errors and the material. Like Connery got a lot of the best material to work with, and it was taking place in the 60s, which I felt was the best era for Bond. Of course, I like the 90s era as well. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Timothy Dalton, though, I felt got cheated, but it was just a box. It's just because of License to Kill didn't do well, and they had
didn't do well in the States. Did okay overseas, but then there was some legal snafus about who had the distribution rights, and
really,
that took it out of the. They couldn't do anything for like 4 or 5 years. It was tied up in court.
Wait a minute, Living Daylights didn't get a theatrical release in North America?
No. You had Living Daylights, which did about 200 million. You had
License to Kill, yeah,
which did not do good in the U.S., but it did fine overseas. It made money, but the distribution rights for James Bond got tied up in a.
That's what happened. So we probably would have gotten more Dalton movies.
We did. He was obligated to do another one, and Universal sold themselves to someone, and they had to figure out who had the rights to distribute James Bond. Like 4.5 years later, it got sorted out, and they went back to Dalton, and he's like, you know what? Did it, done that, been there. I'm okay. I don't want to do it.
They had two planned for him. This is what I had heard someone talking about online, or I think I read somewhere. I think there were two Dalton Bond movies. One was going to be an origin story for the character that showed how he got trained as a spy and who Bond's mentor was in MI6, teaching him how to be a spy. That was going to be one movie. The other movie was going to be about him dealing with a nasty assassin in modern Japan.
Yeah, I would like to have seen that.
That would have been very interesting, especially if it was 1980s Japan, because that was a big age of success for them. That would have been an interesting setting to have a Bond movie in. But unfortunately, we didn't get either of those. But we did get this one, and we got License to Kill. I like License to Kill a lot as well. That's a good movie. Yeah. And who's here in the chat tonight? Let's see.
Welcome to chat. We have David Penzak. Let's see, Big Al, or as he says, Al, Big Al. Johnny Shannon, hello, how are you? Best Bond song, A View to a Kill, all the way. I would say that's like maybe number 2. Honestly, that Katie Lang song, Surrender, that got like cheated out of being the title song for Tomorrow Never Dies. I think that's the best Bond song. And then it would be Garbage, The World Is Not Enough, and then tied with Garbage is A View to a Kill. So,
Man with the Golden Gun, my favorite Bond song.
I enjoy Thunderball just for the silliness of it.
Thunderball's a great title track too. In fact, Thunderball's weird because there were 2 title tracks written for it.
Yeah.
There was, I think, Shirley Bassey's Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I believe that's who did Mr. Kiss Bang Bang. And they didn't end up using that one, but it still ended up on the album for the soundtrack back in the day. And if you listen to the audio commentary for Thunderball, they actually will play you the opening sequence with the Shirley Bassey song, Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and you can see how it flows with the title sequence just as much as Thunderball did. So either would have been fine, but yeah, I do like Thunderball a lot, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Big Al ranks Connery, Moore, Bronson, Dalton, Lazenby, Craig. Okay. Anyone not like Connery? Come on, people. Someone.
I didn't like him in Diamonds Are Forever.
Right. Is that the one with Kim Basinger?
No, you're thinking
Never Say Never Again?
You're thinking of Never Say Never Again, which is this weird Bond movie, which wasn't an Eon production, and it was a remake of Thunderball in the 1980s, which it's just weird, because why am I watching this when I can watch Thunderball? But I don't know. Considering what we've had since then, maybe I need to cut some slack to Never Say Never Again. I don't know.
Okay. David Pinsack says the legal lawsuits were a royal mess with this IP. Yeah, that's what I hear.
They didn't have. I kept wondering why they dropped Spectre and Blofeld. It's like you're not doing anything with Blofeld for so many movies. And I thought they would bring Blofeld.
Don't think
back.
They had the rights to him.
They had no. They didn't have the rights to it.
Which it's like, could you imagine Star Wars without the rights to Darth Vader?
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's what it is. It's they didn't have the rights to his main antagonist. I think they did a good job considering that they didn't have Blofeld. Trouble is, they used up all the other Bond villains in earlier movies, so they couldn't go back to them either. So it was like, I don't know. So they may do, but I still like the later Bond movies. I think what ones I really don't like. I think View to a Kill. I don't like that movie. It's a movie I really want to like, but I can't. I'm trying to think what else.
David says Spectre and Blofeld were part of the Kevin McClory suit.
Yep. Did you know anything about that suit?
No.
Ian Fleming decided to write an original James Bond screenplay for Hollywood, and he wrote it with this screenwriter. And I don't know which one of them came up with Blofeld, which one of them came up with Spectre, but the point is it was kind of jointly owned. And the screenplay never got picked up by a Hollywood studio. So then Ian Fleming decided to take the screenplay and turn it into one of his Bond novels. And then the screenwriter got furious and he sued, and I think they settled out of court because, I guess Fleming was taking credit for, I don't know the full details, so I'm not an expert on this, but I think Fleming just took, made it without permission. This screenplay that they had jointly written made into a Bond novel without permission. I know that they did Thunderball after Ian Fleming died, so they must have gotten with this screenwriter and gotten the rights back. But then I guess things got tied up again. Blofeld was supposed to be the villain in Spy Who Loved Me, but they couldn't get the rights to him, so they just dropped him and came up with Stromberg instead. So
Big Al says Octopussy is the best Bond title ever. I don't know about that. Maybe. Is that the one where they're being dragged through the water in like the Caribbean? Is that Octopussy?
No, I believe that is For Your Eyes Only.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah. So there's this, and I think Brosnan I just like because he's the Bond I grew up with. So there's that.
I don't see how you didn't grow up with Timothy Dalton, because this was the first Bond that I ever saw in the
Because
theater.
I didn't get into Bond when I was younger. I guess I don't know. You're a little older than I am. Maybe that's what it is. For some reason I just skipped Dalton. But we'll get into it while we watch this.
Okay. David Pinsack says he saw this at the Fox Theater in Westwood next to UCLA. First film he saw on THX. Cool. None of my theaters growing up at THX. I just saw it in the $2 theater.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Big Al likes the For Your Eyes Only song by Sheena Easton.
I
like Sheena Easton.
Well, it's an excellent title sequence because she's in the title sequence in that movie. She's actually singing the song in the title sequence, which I think is pretty cool.
Shall we start this fine motion picture?
Might as well. Let me know. Let me click on play before and see if Amazon or HBO. Okay, no, it's the actual movie. They're not going to BS me. Okay. All right. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, and everyone, this is my second movie I've watched today on the YouTube. So,
well, I did a movie last night, so.
Hello, Zootopia. How are you? Rank your James Bonds in the comment section, top to bottom. And if you don't put Connery at number 1, you win a prize.
All right.
3, 2, 1, play. Got the MG in line, growling.
I miss United Artists. They were
Is the
still going.
still a thing?
It's not. I don't. That's the $1 million question. I don't know. Because they said Amazon bought them out, but I think were they even a studio before Amazon bought them out? Or that they
So Amazon owns James Bond now, or
I don't know.
I bet whoever owns James Bond isn't probably sure that they own James Bond.
Here we go. Where is this? Gibraltar?
Yep.
I need to put my.
Do you like this version of M?
He's all right. They had to recast.
Do you like Judi Dench better?
Well, I like Judi Dench, period. But my favorite M is the original. If we're going to go classic, because he was very taciturn. I think Judi Dench was good in the part. Plus, to be fair, M just means I'm not. When I see Judi Dench's M, I always took it as M is just the title, whoever holds that position.
Yeah.
James Bond is not the title of whoever holds that position. I get tired of people saying that. No, it's just a different actor playing the same character. That's what it is. This is why we go to see Bond movies. Look at this aerial shots, huh?
You know, and they actually parachuted over Gibraltar for this shot.
Zootopia, you a fan of this movie?
Was Ian stationed on Gibraltar for a bit? That's pretty cool. Too bad he's not here. I'm sure he's asleep right now.
That's pretty good. So they're doing an exercise with
the SAS.
Yes, and of course they were a big deal during this time period because they had a big success with the Falklands.
SAS has always been a big deal.
Yeah, but I think they had a big success with the Falklands after the Falklands were invaded, right? Wasn't that a big thing? Yeah. Okay.
All right, Zootopia. This is original. Connery, Bronson, Moore, Lazenby, Dalton, Craig.
Connery who?
Bronson.
Oh, Pierce Brosnan. Let me see.
Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. He sucks.
Who?
Pierce Brosnan. I wish I had a grappling hook. If anybody wants to buy me a Christmas present, buy me a grappling hook.
This is one of my favorite parts. This is chilling what happens right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so of course something's gone wrong here.
And you know, this track is not on the original soundtrack release.
It's on the expanded, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Which they just tacked on to the end. Basically, you get the
Yeah, they always put the tracks out of order on those Bond CDs.
Yeah, I wish someone would do like definitive James Bond soundtrack collection.
Yeah.
Do it in a box set, charge $300 for. No, don't do that. Do them individually, like one a month for like 2 years. All right. David Krizak says Dalton, Moore, Connery, Lazenby, Craig. I kind of like that list a little bit better. Why they hate for Bronson? I'm just talking silly smack. I don't really hate.
Let me explain. Maybe you were introduced to Bond through Lazenby. Maybe that's what this is all about. Not through Lazenby, through Dalton. I like this track. I like the 80s.
People usually think that Lazenby had the best James Bond movie ever made, though.
Here's what it was. It's a great story, and it's the most accurate, I think, to one of the novels, except for maybe Casino Royale. But I have to reread Casino Royale, and I don't know. I'm not a Bond expert. I'm working on reading all the novels straight through.
He kind of cost himself that job because he showed up to the premiere with a beard and dressed like a hippie, and the broccoli dude was like, "Hey, look, what are you doing? You're James Bond. Stop being a damn hippie." And he's like, "I can do what I want to, man." And they're like, well, "Get the hell out." and that was that.
Well, I don't know what happened there. I know that Broccoli just didn't like him. I feel that there's enough blame to go around with everything, including with Broccoli with that production. Oh, yikes! This is a great pre-title pre.
It is.
Yeah, this is.
And Timothy Dalton did his own stunts for this too.
This is why I like Bond. When Bond goes after the bad guy, he won't stop. You know, he's look at this.
Yeah, Zootopia says the Lazenby movie is one of the better Bond stories.
Well, I was kind of thinking, well, we'll get into this more next week, but I thought with the Daniel Craig era, they were going to redo all the novels, but that's not what ended up happening. But there he's going, getting the parachute out. So I take it that guy was taking out the other double O's. Is that what I was seeing there?
Yeah, I guess his purpose there is not really fully explained, except he's just there to kill some people, maybe. Remember wireless phones like that back in the day?
No, I always figured they were for the super rich. Better
Now,
make
okay,
that too.
Boomer. Serious
Yes.
question here.
Yes.
You're on a yacht with her. Is that a 1 hour job or at least a 4 hour job? I would say she's not an hour job. I'm just
he said 2 hours.
Well, first he said, I'll check in an hour. Then he's like, better make that 2.
No, he was just doing that in general, and then he sees her and says, better make that 2.
Yeah.
So here we have Joe Don Baker, who later shows up in the Brosnan era as a different character.
Yeah.
John Rhys Davies. So was this your first Bond movie?
First one in the theaters. The first Bond soundtrack ever bought. Got it on cassette.
This is why this is your favorite Bond.
Maybe so.
He was your introduction. So. Yeah, just like Brosnan was mine. But yeah, there you go.
Hey, this was John Barry's 11th James Bond film. It was also his last James Bond film.
Pity, it's a great score.
It is. He wrote all the 3 songs for the film. He said he had such a horrible time with Aha that he was like, I'm done. I'm done with this.
Well, how are they interfering?
I never could find out what their beef was, but he just said he had such a horrible experience working with them that he was done. David Pinzak says Maurice Binder's opening Bond sequence is extraordinary. Yeah. But maybe the new Bond films, they won't have this because this is a relic of the old.
Oh, don't get me started.
Joking.
Don't get me started. I'm terrified of what they're going to do with the character next.
Oh, David says that they were lazy. I mean, aren't all rock stars kind of lazy?
No, they were probably. Actually, I won't say what they were probably doing. I don't know this. You like this title track, though?
I do. It's one of my more favorite Bond songs.
It's a good one. Whatever. I used to have a CD with all the Bond title tracks on it, all up until Goldeneye. They didn't have Goldeneye on there, but I'd leave this one on. I think All Time High, I was not a fan of.
I don't like the Carly Simon one, and I hate Live and Let Die. That's like
You don't like Live and Let Die?
no. And
Oh,
all the Craig era songs except for the Casino Royale song, Skyfall is tolerable, and the other one is just like I'd rather eat.
from Spectre. Yeah, that was a horrible
I
title.
would rather eat regurgitated vomit than listen to any of the others. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm being serious. I would rather eat regurgitated vomit.
Maybe that's why I've never gone back to Spectre and rewatched it. Maybe it's that title opening sequence. It had a great pre-sequence.
Quantum of Solace has an equally horrible song.
I don't hate that one as much as you, but I've liked. I don't know.
No Big Al. I do not like Live and Let Die. I hate Live and Let Die. I think
the movie or the song.
The song.
The movie's pretty good.
Zootopia doesn't like it either because he's an awesome person. David says he adores the Pretender song on the soundtrack. Yeah, the Pretender songs gets a lot of work into the score as the love theme and then the henchman theme. Or Necros.
Right.
I think I said his name right.
Okay, so it's the 80s, so we're dealing with Russians, right? Is that what's going on here?
Okay, John Shannon says he doesn't care about Bond, just the hot, sexy women he runs into. Did you see the Siskel and Ebert review for this?
They were unkind to this movie.
Yeah.
Siskel is just always saying it's Connery or nothing. He's always complaining.
Which one is he? Is he the tall one or the short one?
He's the thinner one.
Okay.
The one who's harsher in his reviews.
They both seem harsh to me.
Well, Bieber could be harsh too when it got around to it. But yeah, they did not like this movie. And it's funny how Siskel was saying, I saw Pierce Brosnan in another movie. I think he has what it would take. And of course, when Brosnan goes, no, you don't like it. I think he also attacked Brosnan. I think there was a review of Goldeneye, which he reviewed Goldeneye. But
and you bring up Pierce Brosnan. This was the fourth James Bond film offered to Timothy Dalton.
Really?
He was offered one in 1968, but he was like 22 years old, and he says, I think I'm too young. And then he was offered 2 Roger Moore films later on, and he turned them down for reasons.
Was it the last 2 Roger Moores?
It wasn't A View to a Kill. I think one was Octopussy, and the other one.
That was 6. That was 6. 6 is Octopussy. Okay. 7th is View to a Kill for Roger Moore. I think the first 5 Roger Moores are all good. I have no problem with them. But
and then they wanted Sam Neill, but Chubby Broccoli didn't want Sam Neill. He wanted Pierce Brosnan. And then his contract got renewed for Remington Steele, so he had to drop out at the last minute. And then he's like, well, will Timothy Dalton finally do it? And he's like, well, I'm doing this Brenda Starr film with Brooke Shields, but this got delayed by a couple weeks. So he finished working on Brenda Starr on a Friday, flew to London, and he started the next Monday on this picture.
That's not a lot of prep time.
No, it was go. He's like, you're going to do it. You got to get your ass here. And Brenda Starr didn't get a release date in the U.S., I think, for like 6 years.
Wow.
It was tied up in legal proceedings as well. So I guess the moral of the story is if you got a picture of Timothy Dalton, it may have legal problems. Zootopia says Spectre did have a great opening sequence, but I am correct in a terrible theme song. Yes.
I think after that it's downhill. I remember being very. I'll get into that next week.
And he's the bad guy in The Fugitive with Harrison Ford. He kills Harrison Ford's wife.
Really?
Well, I mean, he pays someone to kill his wife.
That's right. You're right. It's not the one-armed man. Okay. Yeah. That's a good. We got to do The Fugitive at some point.
It's 30 years old this year. Can you believe that?
Yes. Well, no, I can't. I can believe that. I saw that in high school.
So did I. But it wasn't that long ago. It was like, I don't know, like 10 years ago.
No offense, but if it's between John Barry or Aha, I don't know. Maybe they should have.
Yeah. Does anybody know? Is that a custom rifle right there?
Do you have the License to Kill soundtrack?
Yes, Michael Kamen's. Yeah.
Any good?
It's not my favorite. I mean, maybe if I revisit it, I might like it more. It's just
Yeah, I don't own anything. This might be the latest of the scores I own. Would be Living Daylights, because I did order it because I realized I didn't have it. It's funny. I went and ordered it, and the guy sent me Octopussy soundtrack by mistake, but I didn't have the Octopussy soundtrack, and I was actually considering getting that one next. So he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Could you send it back to me, and I'll rebate you, or I could give you $4 off the Living Daylights soundtrack?" And I was like, you know what? I was
I'll
thinking
take
about getting
$4 off.
Octopussy. What?
I said I would take $4 off.
Yeah, I figure, okay, I'll just take $4 off. I'll buy the Living Daylights soundtrack from you too. So he said, "Thank you for being understanding." But I figure I didn't have Octopussy. I was planning on getting that score anyway. I remember not caring for Octopussy when I saw it, but maybe I need to revisit it. Maybe it's not so bad.
I've got all the Barry scores, and I got all the David Arnold's. I've got the two from Thomas Newman. I did not care for Hans Zimmer's score for what was the last one? No Time to Die.
Time to Die
Yeah, that was such a disappointment of a score to me.
was a disappointment on many levels,
This is true.
but I won't get into
multi-level disappointment involved.
Oh,
But the score, especially, because I thought, man, Hans Zimmer doing a Bond score? Hell yeah, this is like a teenage dream come true. And then I was like, what really? Like,
have the Craig era movies had decent scores?
yeah.
Okay.
David Arnold for Casino Royale was awesome.
I do like the title track for that one.
I did very much. I love that.
Yeah, I do like that one. We'll talk about it next week.
And Thomas Newman for Skyfall, and then Thomas Newman did Spectre, but it's really just a complete retread of the Skyfall. It's like note for note, like the same thing, just reworked. And I'm like, okay, okay, whatever.
Didn't that pipeline get destroyed recently?
I think that's a different pipeline.
Okay.
Hey, Boomer, does your Octopussy have dialogue on it?
I haven't had a chance to listen to the score yet. I did get it recently, so I meant to put it into my iTunes, but unfortunately, I left because unfortunately, Macs only take micro USB, and my micro USB adapter I left at my job, so I didn't have it here to hook my detached DVD player up to it. I suppose I could have listened to it in the CD player in my car, though. I could have done that for now. Hey.
I hate it when this happens to me. You're working, minding your own business, and it's just like, what's going on?
They always like to introduce these newfangled, like they like to show off, I guess, new technology, right?
This seems pretty pretty basic technology, though, to me.
I don't know. They said it was a great achievement of Soviet engineering or something. Didn't they say that? I don't
Oh,
know.
the pipeline was.
Yeah, the pipeline. Yeah,
That's a whole lot of stairs.
we see cues there. Q's important in a Bond movie, and of course Desmond Llewellyn dies, but they did have John Cleese in there as the replacement, and then nope, nope, no more John Cleese after. Well, we'll get into that later on. The funny thing about Desmond Llewellyn, he always looks the same age, doesn't he?
He kind of does. Yeah.
In all of these, even in Gold, starting with I think what was it from Russia with Love? That's the first time we see him introduced.
I thought he looked very old in The World Is Not Enough.
Yeah, well, by that time he's looking even older. Yeah, but he always had the same look. It's just.
Oh, David Pinsack says this is like the only film where Bond drives an Audi.
Were he what?
He drives an Audi.
Interesting. I could be wrong. What's the car he drives in For Your Eyes Only?
Lotus?
His fancy car blows up because someone tries breaking in. I think Hugh says I have a foolproof anti-theft device installed. This, and you see the bad guys trying to break in, and the whole thing just blows up with.
Yeah, you're talking about the car that like goes underwater and everything.
No, that was Spy Who Loved Me.
Okay, I think that was a Lotus.
I want to say it was a Fiat in For Your Eyes Only, but I could be wrong. The idea was he's like in an anti-Bond vehicle, it's like for one sequence. Tower Records, little product placement there, maybe. Like that computer?
Yeah. David says it was a Lotus.
I like the new Moneypenny. In some ways, this was sort of like a new start for Bond. I guess you have new actors in these parts. You have some of the recurring ones, but I guess this would have been for the 80s what Brosnan was for the 90s, right?
Yeah. This would be the last Bond to smoke on screen.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. Ghetto blaster.
Yikes.
Big Al's got the hots for some money, Penny.
Yeah, she's a nice looking lady.
Did he pat her on the hiney?
They didn't show, but perhaps. That's what they call us over there, Yanks. Okay. Can you imagine having fresh milk delivered daily?
I don't drink enough milk to have it delivered daily.
You like his new wheels?
Yeah, I would take one of those.
Now, one of the great things about DVDs early on was that they were putting James Bond movies on DVDs early on. And then they came out with these nice sets where you'd get like 6 or 7 Bond movies in a box set. But they were never in order. They were always like a mix of different eras. So I had to reorder them when I finally got them all. But I don't think that's how I first saw Living Daylights, so I probably rented it from Blockbuster when I was getting into Bond. So I was trying to watch all the older movies. But as always, though, with those old VHS tapes, they were always pan and scanned.
Yeah, the dark days.
I did get a Bond set for Christmas one year, a VHS of Connery's, and they were all in widescreen, so that was kind of neat.
Really?
Yeah, this was like right before DVD came on the scene, but yeah. Did he call caviar peasant food to us?
I have a friend that actually stocks caviar in his refrigerator.
I've never tried it.
I'm not trying. It's no.
I think I would try it just because of how expensive it is, just to see if I'd like it.
Oh, that makes sense. It's expensive, therefore it must be good. Says Boom.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious what the big deal is. I'm just. Yeah, I do feel Dalton could have used a couple more pictures, though. I do. He's good.
I would like to have seen him fight the Japanese assassin.
That would have been cool.
I think that would have been way cool.
Yeah, I think another Japan adventure in '80s Japan, that would have been neat.
Yeah.
And I was curious about the origin story movie. That would have been interesting, or like a prequel sort of thing. I could be wrong, but is he dealing with Smersh in this movie?
I think so.
Because that was the original bad organization he was dealing with, which was a Russian organization. Later on, Spectre became the big thing in the novels, but first it was Smersh.
He's just trying to get them to kill General Pushkin so he can get away with his diamond for opium deal. Which is kind of a complicated plan. I'm going to fake a defection, spoilers here, people, to MI6 to convince them to kill my boss so I can get away with this theft plan. And then I'm going to fake me getting recaptured by the KGB. It just seemed kind of complicated. I was thinking Soviet Russia, you could just plant some bad documents on your boss and get them taken care of that way.
All right. Is that a ham?
Mm-hmm.
You a big fan of ham?
If it's cooked.
Okay, if it's cool, I would hope it was. Otherwise, you're going to be going to the hospital.
Now you're going to hear this piece of music kind of replayed every time this guy gets in a fight. It's like his fight music.
It's interesting seeing all these other MI6 agents here, right? This is
a pretty brutal fight, too.
Yeah. Salt in the eye.
Yeah. But his face got burned on the stove. That's got to hurt. This is Carl's brother and died. The best Christmas movie ever made.
Is he going to blow up the building now? So, what's your favorite track on this album?
I like the opening track at Gibraltar.
Yeah.
I like the car chase on the ice. Probably those two, I would say, would be mine. What about you?
Yeah, probably the Gibraltar track. Like I said, when I get the score, I'll examine it more.
That's actually got the Bond theme, and he did it kind of electronic, but still with an orchestra.
Yeah.
Um,
Unlike the Goldeneye soundtrack, which was all electronic, I believe.
it was all something. It's just I think the word is awful.
They were just going for something different. It translated well to the video game.
It did. I think that's what saved that score is the use in the video game.
Yes. It's funny. I recently got a NN64 replica controller for use with the Nintendo Switch, and they put GoldenEye on their subscription service, right? So I
Mhm.
went ahead and was playing GoldenEye the way I did back in the '90s, and I was like, "How in the heck did I play first-person shooters this way? It's terrible."
That's all you knew.
The control, that's all I knew, but the control scheme is not intuitive at all. I don't. Apparently, they also released it on the Xbox. If I ever get my Xbox hooked back up, I'll try it on there. Maybe they did it better on there. I don't know. This is kind of a. Do you like this, M?
He's stuffy and British, so he's cool.
I think I like the original the best because he was very. There was a lot of humor in his performance, you know. Hmm.
How many languages does James Bond speak? Does anybody know?
Good question. He knows a few. I know he knows Russian, obviously, because it's the Cold War, so he had to know that.
Russian, French, German, of course, American. Does he know Spanish? I imagine he would know Spanish.
He might. I think he knew Japanese or knew enough to get around.
Toby says he knows as many as he needs to. Whatever the plot requires.
My favorite parts in the movies are usually these scenes. I have a lot of fun with them. Q Branch.
Would you work for Q Branch?
Yeah. What?
I was the question, like, if you were in MI6, would you be in Q Branch or would you be a 00?
I don't know what I'd be in. And I'd probably be the guy getting the mail. Probably be the guy.
At least you're honest.
I don't know. Maybe I'd be PR. Maybe if there's a PR branch, maybe that's what I'd be. You know?
So Toby says that he knew Chinese and Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah, that's true. It's so weird. There's no more God Save the Queen anymore, is there?
No.
So if he does it now, the whole place blows up. Is that right? Do you like that?
That's kind of cool.
Does Moneypenny even show up in the second in License to Kill?
I don't think so.
I don't think so because I think from the get go he's on the
He's on the run.
Yeah, he says I'm getting revenge from my friend, and you're not allowing me to go after this this South American drug lord. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah, and he just like quits on the spot, and M's like, "Damn it, 007, we're not a country club."
Q shows up later on.
Q shows up in South. Was it Colombia?
Whatever, maybe it must have been Colombia. Yeah. What did Q yell out just there? I didn't tell you what the red switch does. Don't hit it, whatever you do, or something. I don't know. It's just. So do you like the Bond girl in this movie?
I mean, I typically don't care for blondes, but she's not ugly. She seems very, very naive.
Yeah. They did a good job, I think, of updating his look. He still looks like he could fit in the 80s, but he still looks like Bond, you know? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't think they did a good job dressing Timothy Dalton. I don't think he ever really had any nice looking clothes.
What? Really?
Yeah, I don't think Timothy Dalton ever had nice looking clothes in either of his films.
Let me see.
It's like, are you dressing him from J.C. Penney's? That's how he looked to me.
Well, that's how people look back then.
It pains me to say that, but in both films, I'm like, did you get your clothes at J.C. Penney's? I mean,
so you think Brosnan was dressed better? Is that what you're saying?
Bronson was definitely dressed nicer. Yeah. And I didn't care for what they put Daniel Craig in. They put him in all that short ass, tidy clothes. I'm like, no.
Gray suits, a lot of gray suits with him, right?
Yeah. Yeah. All the jackets are short, the pants are short, and I'm like, dude, you can't get a Walther PPK underneath that jacket. There's no way. Yes, Big Al said that both sisters are hot. Her sister was in Conan the Destroyer.
Oh, I know her sister very well. Yeah.
Really?
She's well, no, not personally, just from other movies. She was in a wonderful comedy called Spirit of 76, actually.
Which one's older?
I don't know. I'm assuming the lead in this movie, right? So we got John Rhys Davies. He was getting around a lot in the 80s. I guess.
Yep.
Was it? Yeah.
He was in Nashville last weekend at the science fiction convention thing.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
I was thinking about going and get one of my Raiders posters signed, but it's $50 for the day ticket, $100 for the autograph. You know, a tank of gas and a Sequoia. I'm like, I don't. This is getting expensive.
Yeah, I keep saying Big Al, and I have to get back to Robin of Sherwood, but John Rhys Davies played King Richard in that show. This holds up well, shot wise, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was the one issue I had with some of those old DVDs. The transfers were mixed. Some were good and some were not as good. Then they remastered them. I know people are still complaining about the remaster for GoldenEye, though. They're not happy with that one, but
was GoldenEye the only good Pierce Brosnan film?
What?
I think GoldenEye was the only good.
You didn't like World Is Not Enough, I take it.
No, I liked it fine. I was just, when you look at YouTube videos, people say that Pierce Brosnan, he only had one good James Bond film.
No. I think they're all fun to watch, and
I did not like the last one. We would
I'm okay with it. Everybody
I,
hates that one, but I'm all right
I don't
with
like
it.
that one at
I think
all.
it had a good villain. I think it was the best villain of all the Brosnan movies. I thought. Gustav Graves. Come on, you didn't like him?
No, I mean the way it was directed, the score by David Arnold. I don't know what the hell happened there. It's unlistenable. It's horrible. It's horrible. Horrible. Um, Big Al says Money Penny is listed in the credits for License to Kill.
She might have been in like a brief scene.
I'm gonna have to watch License to Kill when we get done with this tonight. So
Yeah, I like License to Kill a lot. I mean, it's a bit off in scenes. I'm not gonna lie, but I still like it. It's a
thank you, Zootopia, for backing me up. Tomorrow Never Dies was awesome. No, not
yes.
Tomorrow. The one with Madonna was terrible, 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 terrible. Yes, yes.
I forgive it. I guess I'm the only one. I know I'm a weird one. That's where they were trying to set up a Halle Berry spin-off series. That was also why she was in that. They were going to give her her own series.
Hey, and what happened to that? They could have thrown like $60 million at it, like $30 million for marketing.
What happened?
And
No,
they would have made money.
Catwoman happened. She was the lead
Okay.
Catwoman, and it did terribly, and that scared them from casting her in that spin-off series. And then
Right.
I think at that point they were rebooting the whole Bond series anyway. So because she
Yeah.
was going to be like an American spy in the Bond universe. Do you understand? So they were going to give her her own movies. Maybe you'd have a cameo by Bond in one of the movies or something. But,
Yeah. Johnny Shannon says, check off list for great Bond movie. Actor, hot co-star, yes. A ticking time bomb with a great LED display. Yep. Yep. And a nice car. David says, Die Another Day was too fantastical for his taste. Yeah, it was too much of all horrible things. And Zootopia, I don't know if Madonna's got the worst Bond song or Paul McCartney's got the worst Bond song. I mean, I guess I got 2 ears, so I can have two equally horrible songs. So I'll go with both.
like that case?
The Jello case?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't have any feelings for it one way or the other. It's,
It feels like a slower Bond movie, though. I'll say that.
yeah.
But I'm expecting there'll probably be something that'll break out soon enough, right?
I think Siskel and Ebert said this felt like a slow film.
The title is taken from an Ian Fleming short story. I'm curious as to how much it. I'm sure this.
Do you have all the books that he wrote?
I'm working on getting all the audio versions. I'll leave it at that. And you may want to get the books soon if you want to own the original the original language versions of them before the current publishers change the immortal words of Ian Fleming to suit modern sensibilities.
Okay, can we do that with To Kill a Mockingbird too? Well, let's take To Kill a Mockingbird.
Don't you think they're not going to try that next? That's the thing. I kept thinking it's not going to stop there. They may want to get To Kill a Mockingbird. Right?
I think we need to rewrite the Bible too. Well, let's make it more.
Well, to be fair, they've done that over the years.
They have.
I guess that's why a lot of people out there prefer certain editions that don't change over time. But
Quantum of Solace is about a couple getting divorced.
what?
What David said.
What's getting divorced? What?
Quantum of Solace was about a couple getting divorced. I'm gonna have to.
Oh, the story. Okay, yeah, I'm sure they just copied the names. I'm sure Living Daylights, the short story, had a cello in it, and it had and they kept the character names, and that's about it. That's. Like I said, though, I'm going to go back and reread them when I get a chance. but I'm working on just trying to get myself some audio copies.
And this was on the original soundtrack release, thankfully.
That's pretty cool, don't you think?
Yeah. And I don't know if when you get the expanded release, it's got a fold out.
Fold out what?
All of this. All this folding out.
Let me take a look. What are you showing me there? Hold on. Well, it should still be there. I had to buy a used copy though. They're not in print anymore. Those soundtracks. They're now going up.
Yeah.
In fact, you were telling me you were having some poster problems before the stream. Remember?
Yeah, I've got the advanced one sheet, the American one sheet for The Living Daylights. I think it's my favorite Bond poster. And the British quad, I always like the British quad. It's got actual artwork. The American one sheet is this right here, which is kind of dull. But the British quad, it looks like something like Drew Strunz did. I don't know if he did or not, but it looks like he did it. And I got an eBay to look up, Living Daylights British quad, and there's two on eBay. One, the guy wants like $700, and I'm like, that seems high. And another one's an auction. It's got a couple of days left, and I'll keep my eye on it. It's a bit more reasonable. And then I went to the internet and looked up at various places that had it or have had it. It's going for $700 to $900.
Really?
I was like, wow. It's like everything. It just seems to have just gone up. Posters, soundtracks seem to go up. It's just everything.
I have my eye on some fancy art print posters, right, that are limited editions, and they go for like $100, and these are new ones that they're making.
Well, anything from Sideshow, a modern print from Sideshow, is $100 to $150.
I should look to see what Sideshow makes actually.
If you want a Connery James Bond one sheet, you're looking at 4 figures. Wow. Yeah. I wonder where the Dirty Harry posters are now, like the old ones. So I remember I looked at getting you one year for Christmas, and then you said like, I don't like the Dirty Harry posters, and I was like, okay, Mr. Negative.
It's funny you mentioned that because the art print poster I was looking at is a Dirty Harry.
Oh, so now you like the Dirty Harry?
Because it's not the original poster. It's an artist rendition. It's like a new print. There's like this, and it looks pretty neat. So maybe I'll break down and pick it up.
I think the 70 Dirty Harry posters, they have a very nice aesthetic about them.
They're not awful, but no.
I mean, they're not Star Wars, style A or anything. But I think they have a very nice aesthetic to them.
Here's the deal. I already have a lot of posters as it is. So, I mean, you can only put up so many.
I know exactly what you mean.
I'm probably going to go with maybe at some point in my life, I'll go with my duo of Heavy Metal and The Beyond. I'll put those posters back in the frames.
Do you have the Heavy Metal one sheet?
I have the Heavy Metal one sheet, but it's the one from the 90s. And I kind of like that one better. And I have a Beyond one sheet from its re-release from the late 90s as well. And it's funny, they both came out the same year in the 80s, and then they got re-released the same year in the 90s. And I have the re-release posters for the ones from the 90s. So they're neat little posters. So and they're full size.
Okay. David says his Bond one sheet collection is keeping his Star Wars one sheet collection company. You know what I got a couple weeks ago that I still have not opened?
What?
Cal D Star Wars roll.
Is this what we get instead of a skiing sequence?
Yeah. So Star Wars Style D one sheet roll. Boomer. Right here.
Let me take a look. Hold on. Let me take a look at that.
I haven't opened it yet. I just haven't gotten around to it.
You got to put that in a frame, dude.
Yeah, that's probably like 3 or 4 years away at this point.
Well, that's my point. That's why I don't tend to buy a lot of posters these days. I bought them more when I was younger, when you could afford to buy them before they went nuts. But But yeah, the heavy metal one sheet I got wasn't too badly priced, even though I had to buy it on eBay. But it was from the re-release of the '90s, but it was an actual theatrical poster from when it was re-released. It's the one that says "louder and nastier than ever." Is this Switzerland? Is this Switzerland now?
Austria?
Austria? Yeah, same thing. I'm sorry. Wait, no.
I know totally the same thing. I mean, they're both countries near.
See, right now I'm having a hard time following who the villain was. You had the creepy blonde dude who was, throwing
Henchman. He's
throwing milk
definitely
bottle.
a henchman.
He was throwing milk bottle bombs around, right?
Yeah. These statues are kind of creepy.
Is that Caligula or Nero or something?
I think that's Nero.
And that's a certain guy with a mustache.
Yeah. That's
Genghis
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan.
Napoleon. I'm not sure who that guy is. Is that Ivan the Terrible?
Maybe, yeah. So what do you think of Whitaker?
It's a little eccentric. Big Al saying Cromwell was in that group of people.
Interesting.
He did kill a couple of people, one or two.
Who, Cromwell?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a funny scene in Time Bandits when Napoleon is complaining about, I think he was complaining about the British. He was saying Cromwell, the only one of them that had any vision or something. I don't know. Forget the exact line.
I do like the bust that he has. I would take those. I would pass on the statues.
Just like an all sales final sort of thing.
I think when you're an arms dealer, all sales are final. Yeah, I think that's how it works. Like arms dealers and drug dealers, I think, there's a no return policy. Satisfaction not guaranteed. It's just, take it or leave it.
Mm. Hmm. Is that is that like a fancy cello?
Stradivarian?
Of course.
Yeah. Big Al, Google the price for a Stradivarian cello for us.
Look at that. Ride on horseback in the park, right?
See, here we're getting the love theme, which is the If There Was a Man, which is the song at the end credits. Speaking about Carnegie Hall, Guess who's playing Carnegie Hall in February?
Who?
Supposed to guess.
John Williams.
Yes, with Yo-Yo Ma.
With Yo-Yo Ma.
Mhm. Tickets go on sale the 8th, if I remember correctly. The 8th of June. How many can I put you down for?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. That's a ways away, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's how life is. You know, you gotta jump on the ticket when you get the chance. And
Right. Have you gotten your tickets yet?
I can't until the 8th.
Wow.
Let's see. Big Al says one sold for 20 million, one sold for 15.9 million. David says that's the same Ferris wheel from the Third Man film. Another one sold for 15.8, 15.3. Well, okay, these are more expensive than a movie poster for sure.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Well, it's a nice swimming pool,
I mean, if you're into swimming pools.
huh?
15.3 million. Yeah, they definitely seem expensive.
Ooh, it's a big old lobster.
Do you think they should have extended out a little bit to figure out exactly what Koskoff is up to?
Do you think that's why you think they made the movie longer for us to explain the big master plan?
Yeah.
Maybe. Now I'm reminded of the lobster scene from The Naked Gun 2.5.
Hmm.
Remember when Frank Drevin's ripping off pieces of It's like Bond's on vacation in this movie, huh?
He kind of is.
What'd he whisper to her?
Something funny.
Okay.
You know, I'll say this, he's not jumping in the bed with her like right off the bat.
That's because this is the 80s, so I think they were trying to be a little more
Oh, Roger Moore got around. Just saying.
well, yeah, but that was the 70s.
He was also in the 80s.
Yeah, well, I don't at that point. I don't.
View to Kill, he was with Grace Jones and that blonde-headed chick and I think a Russian chick.
Um.
And those are just the ones we know of.
Okay.
David says Pushkin's girlfriend is played by the actress that played Zahn on Farscape. I've never seen Farscape.
Farscape. I watched Farscape.
It came on Sci-Fi Channel, didn't it?
Yeah, you never saw it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I did watch the first season. I was meant to get back into it, but I got busy with other things.
City House says Farscape was awesome.
Really?
I think Saunders has a decent arc in the story. He starts out being a prick, but then he pulls through for Bond and helps him out, and he's looking pretty good. Then he gets killed by that automatic door.
There's a similar scene to that in the movie Problem Child too. They're on the spinning wheels, huh? You never saw Problem Child too, huh?
No.
Okay.
Olive.
Is this a real amusement park?
I think so. Are you amused? Then it is.
Are they going to go into the Tunnel of Terror? Is that where they're going? I don't know.
Hmm.
See who it is?
Yeah, it's the henchman dude,
It's Stabby McStabberson.
and he's got the same theme song playing in his Walkman. He's on brand.
Well, yeah.
That's his
Is
song.
that a Sony Walkman that they're showing off there?
I think so.
Uh-oh.
So how do you think this would have been if Sam Neill had been Bond?
I think he could have worked. What do you think?
I think it would have been interesting.
They were considering Tom Hiddleston a few years back, and then they said no.
I think they decided no when he started dating Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I think I'd mentioned that. Yeah, and
Which I don't understand that.
I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense to me.
No one dates Taylor Swift longer than like 2 dates,
Do you like that stuffed elephant?
Looks kind of tacky.
Yeah.
And it looks cheap.
Arms dealer. Oh, now he's figuring out something's up, right?
David brings up a good point. Amusement park prizes generally do look cheap, you know.
He did.
Yeah.
What's on the balloon?
Smint, whatever.
It's gonna be some kid, right?
See, and you get the bad guy theme here, not the James Bond theme. I really think the only two times you get the Bond theme is at the start and then the ice chase.
I don't know. I keep thinking if Ryan Johnson had directed it, he would have shot the kid by accident, and then he would have gotten into trouble and had to go to jail. And that's the end of the movie. Sorry.
What a boot killer! I'm like, he was going so well. And
yeah, well, he is on mission.
That's true. That's true.
You ever been to Tangiers?
I used to go every other weekend back in college.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Have you?
No.
But if I did, I'm sure I'd sport a style and khaki suit with a blue shirt.
Uh-huh. You like those binocular glasses?
Those are kind of cool, although they look like something you'd order out of a comic book in the 90s.
Well,
Send 5 proofs of purchases in 99 cents.
I'm trying to think if I ever mail order for something like that. Sea Monkeys, right? Weren't they a thing you could order through comic books?
Mm-hmm.
What was in the G.I. Joe comic books? Was it like spy equipment and stuff you could mail in for?
I use the G.I. Joe guys. Like 3
okay.
flag points and $1.99. Get your hooded Cobra Commander.
Oh. So I take it Pushkin's waiting in town to get the money, right?
Yeah.
Is that a waterbed?
It wasn't very bouncy. David, she's about to be topless here in a second when he calls in his KGB friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here you go, David.
He's going to execute him, isn't he?
Maybe. Do you have a PPK, Boomer?
What?
Do you have a Walther PPK?
I do not. Do you?
I have the 6-hour version of it. It's a better firearm.
Better than what's in here?
I'm sorry?
Better than what's seen here?
Well, the German-made Walthers are good. The American-made ones were never really that great. So if you can get a German one, I would do that. I'd probably pass on the American-made ones.
So he staged the execution.
Yeah. Just like they did with Kennedy.
Yes, he's in a rest home with Elvis.
He is. I'm telling you, right down the street, I think.
Yeah, this is the plot of Bubba Hotep.
Okay. Man, do you see that NASA had a press meeting today about UFOs?
What?
Yep.
What about it?
They were discussing UFOs.
I know the aliens are about to invade. We're going to have AI is going to take over too. You know, yeah. It's all going to happen. Sorry. What did NASA say?
I didn't catch it, but they were going through all kinds of data. It seemed to be pretty intense. I see they're using the theme song here, the Aha theme song, as opposed to the James Bond theme song.
Is that the woman he was in the hotel with?
Mm-hmm. Only here she's wearing clothes, Boomer.
But now he's a wanted man, right?
Yeah. Wanted by these ladies.
Let me guess, they're American, aren't they?
Always be suspicious when beautiful women want to take you for a ride in their convertible.
So do they work for the bad guy or they work for the CIA? What am I saying?
For the CIA.
Okay.
So we have a different actor playing Felix Leiter.
Wait a minute. No.
Yeah. That's not David Hedison.
Oh, that's right. This is before License to Kill. Never mind.
Yeah, David Hedison came back for License to Kill. Kind of weird, you know.
No, it's okay. I was about to say they always have different actors playing Felix Leiter. Question: do you know which part of the U.S. Felix Leiter is from?
I have no idea.
Texas.
Really?
Yes. So I take it the diamonds aren't going to be used for like a super satellite that can destroy.
That would be like way
reactors.
cool, but yeah, no.
Yeah, we don't really get that in the Dalton era Bond films.
We don't. They're a bit more grounded.
Yeah. You get it in the Brosnan era. You have guys with super two of they're two super satellites in the Brosnan movies.
I thought the GoldenEye satellite seemed very plausible. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be, you know.
That was what in EMT, I think, sort
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah. And I forgot what it was in Die Another Day. It was some.
It was just like a giant heat ray beam.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That would very slowly burn up a jet that's flying through the air.
The jet should have been made out of ice. You know, it should have been another one like the Ice Palace, the jet, and that should have been made out of ice too, right?
That was a bad movie. It made a lot of money, though. It made money.
Yeah, so how does Brosnan get rewarded? He doesn't get picked for a fifth one. As Troy Pacelli says, though, you never shake a martini. You know, that's something that James Bond and Amy the Gorilla have in common.
They've been lied to?
Oh, well, yes, there you go. No, they both drink martinis, remember?
Okay.
Remember Congo a few weeks back, huh?
Oh.
The gorilla?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Amy the Gorilla. That's what I'm talking about.
See, that's me when I take a non-drowsy cold medication.
Non-drowsy, right?
Yeah, I can't take any cold medicine.
So this is where Bond's going to get put into an impossible situation to get out of. Hmm. What was that?
Jerry Bondon?
Oh. See, Inspire loved me. The villain wanted the U.S. and the Soviet Union to turn the world into a nuclear wasteland, so all the people would be forced to live underwater with him.
Well, that sounds awesome.
He said the sea was where the future of humanity lies. He said we have to go back to the sea. That was his big thing.
So, Boomer, Big Al and I were talking about doing a Back to the Future marathon on 4th of July.
Hmm.
All 3 films in one
I
day.
don't. I don't think I'll be able to do all 3, but we'll see. Maybe I could join you for part of it at least. Yeah. All 3? That's a
Yes,
lot of movie.
that's what makes it a marathon. Gotta
Would you like to?
gotta get in shape. Gotta work up to it. You know.
What's with this heart bomb? What is this all about?
They got diamonds in the ice.
So this is all set up, right? He wanted to know why.
Yeah.
So Pushkin's the only one that can clear him, basically, right?
And he's dead,
Yes.
which is convenient for someone.
Uh-oh, this is the motherland, right?
Well, it's Afghanistan
Oh,
back when
yeah.
the Russians
Okay,
were.
I remember that. Okay, I remember this part. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, didn't you see Rambo 3? I mean, you're
Yes, that's another one. I was expecting the little boy he gave the necklace to, they would do a future Rambo movie. He'd be the bad guy he's up against. They should have done that. you know. We did Rambo First Blood Part 2, correct?
yeah, we've done 1 and 2.
All right, we haven't done 3 yet. All right. He's going to send her off to Siberia.
Yeah. That's a funny joke. That's a funny joke. And that's the bad guy from True Lies.
Huh. I haven't seen True Lies in ages. They keep complaining at Cameron, saying that he needs to do a remaster of it, but he says he's too busy with the Avatar movies.
He said he just doesn't have time to do it right now.
What's he waiting for?
Same excuse with The Abyss. He says he's just too busy. I would very much like to see The Abyss on
like 4K or yeah.
I mean anything, just
I thought it was going to explode.
that comes later.
Okay.
Big Al says that Art Malik is in the new Little Mermaid movie.
Really? It's going to lock him in his own cell.
Yeah, I don't call that freedom.
Is he going to take him with him?
He's like, please, hey, dude.
So was this like a big deal when this came out?
Yeah, I mean, it had a $40 million budget, did just under 200 million worldwide.
All right. Were people talking about it and stuff?
Yeah, everyone was talking about the new James Bond. I remember my weekly reader had an article on it.
I don't know. They kept saying in the License to Kill documentary that movie was cursed, like they shot on a cursed road in Mexico or something, and like all sorts of horrible things were happening on the set and stuff. And it was like, you know,
I mean, that movie came out summer of '89. You know what else came out in summer of '89?
no.
Indiana Jones, Ghostbusters, Lethal Weapon 2, Poet Society.
It's weird if you think about it. They could have
Batman,
done
The Abyss.
They could have followed the 2-year strategy and done one in 91, done one in 93, and then went to Brosnan like they did in 95 with Goldeneye. They could have just done 2 more. There's enough space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think if they had released it in November, I think it would have done a lot better.
It's funny because that's what they started doing with the Bond movies after they started
They did.
becoming
They've all been
fall.
fall,
Yeah,
fall/winter.
yeah. You can still see it at Christmas time.
Yeah.
That's why I got annoyed when during the whole big Bond hiatus, during the where they weren't doing any Bond movies, and I finally went to see Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, and that was released around Christmas time. And I'm like, well, this is the best Bond movie I've seen in a while, because the joke was, it's the closest I'm going to get to a Bond movie at Christmas time.
The music here is John Barry did something. I feel like he took this what he did and turned this into Dances with Wolves. Do you hear? Did you kind of hear maybe the origins for Dances with Wolves here?
A little bit different, different tone, I think, right?
Yeah, it's like sentence means the same, but it's using slightly different words. Yeah, David Finzak says he hears what I'm saying.
Are they going to run to the guy they freed?
Yeah, he's some big shot dude with the Taliban.
Ah, yes.
They have that saying, whoever we're funding today will be fighting in 20 years.
Basically, yeah.
And now that's the same camel from Conan the Barbarian.
Is it? I
No,
could be.
I don't know. I'm just being funny.
Maybe it is. You never know. Maybe there's like a stunt camel. They use it in all the movies, right? Oxford.
It's this college?
Yeah. Hmm. That guy means business, huh?
I would think those people probably mean business most of the time.
Oh, she cleans up nicely.
I thought she looked pretty good dirty as well. Do you have a favorite Bond girl?
Yes. Give me a second. You probably know her name, right? Yeah, it's Daniela Bianchi from Russia with Love.
Okay. David Pensack says Barbara Bach.
Yeah, she's good. She's nice. How about yourself?
Um, Diana Rigg.
Right, right. She died recently.
She did.
Yes. You like the cinematography in this?
Yeah. Ah, Zootopia goes with Eva Green. Yeah.
She's good, actually. She's up there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think I would want to hang out with Eva Green. At least Diana Rigg, I think. You know what? I could hang out with Emma Field. You know.
I don't know. I think it would be quite interesting, actually. So where was this shot? This part right here, right?
Tanzania, I think.
Okay. What's in there?
Opium.
You think that guy's saying, "I hope he didn't discover the opium," right?
Big Al says Britt Eklund.
Where is he going to sell the opium?
I don't know. Internet.
The
eBay.
the internet. Yes. When did they mention the internet in a Bond movie? Was it Goldeneye or Tomorrow Never Dies or something?
GoldenEye.
Okay, they mentioned the World Wide Web. I'm sure they called it the World Wide Web, right? That's probably what they called
Yeah, I hear a lot of Dances with Wolves here. Although that film's like what, 4 or 5 years off.
it. Yeah. There's Bond. We getting to the plane scene soon.
Yep.
So after you saw this, did you go back and seek out the old Bond movies?
It's like the Roger Moore ones when they were on TBS.
They used to do marathons, right?
Yeah.
Or on Thanksgiving, I think. It was Thanksgiving. They do a Bond marathon. What? What's he doing?
Going after James Bond. They're all like, dude.
Come on, man. So Dances with Wolves comes after this. What else did John Barry do after this?
Decent Proposal, Scarlet Letter, uh, Swept from the Sea, maybe?
Hmm.
He got, I think it was throat cancer. He died not too long really after this film, maybe in 7 or 8 years, I think he died.
All right. I got to look up the British poster for this movie now. Let me look that up.
It's got really nice artwork.
Oh yeah,
Isn't it nice?
they got the villains in the background.
Yeah, it's got the car with the ice skids on it. Yeah,
Hmm.
the U.S. one sheet's just kind of uninspired, I think.
Now I'm looking at it's the Japanese poster. What is this?
I think Japanese use the same artwork, just different proportions.
Hmm. Britt Eklund, she was in Man with the Golden Gun. That's who Bao liked. She's going to stop in the 007.
Hmm.
Is that going to happen?
I don't think that.
Am I remembering correctly?
I think that might happen in the trailer.
Okay, I know it was in the trailer.
David says he doesn't think MGM's and United Artists marketing team's hearts were in the marketing campaign. Yeah,
Look at that. Were they showering or were they doing something
yeah,
else?
yeah.
Okay. Think we need more music here?
Yeah. Yeah. It was probably one of those sound effects versus music discussions.
Is that one of your dogs?
Yeah, Titus wants to come out. He's been outside all day. He needs to
Chill
get
out.
ready, get ready for bed. And I gave him a bone and a Kong, so he's got something to keep him busy. Yeah, I'm thinking he's gone.
That's a lot of gas, right?
Like fourth meal at Taco Bell.
You think James Bond ever ate at a Taco Bell?
Probably not.
No. I saw that movie Plane over the weekend with Gerard Butler.
How was it?
Not bad. It's pretty good. So here we have the aha motif again, right?
Yeah, like I said, they only used the James Bond theme like for 2 pieces in this entire film. I know the Duran Duran song was a really, really big hit, and they were probably trying to duplicate that.
Yeah, The View to a Kill, right.
Yeah. Big Al says he watched Midway earlier today. Did you like Midway, Big Al? Are we getting 10 words or less?
The recent Midway movie?
Recent, it's probably been 4 or 5 years at this point.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was better than I expected it to be. I'll put it to you that way. I was like,
Better than Michael Bay's Pearl Harbor.
yes, yes.
Big Al came out
Yeah, now's not the
2018.
time. It's
You saw Graders on IMAX last week, Zootopia? That's cool. I know. I think it's getting released here the 4th and the 7th.
Defuse a bomb.
Yeah, he got the bomb in the dope bag.
It's just like that scene at the end of Aliens where the Queen's still there on the ship. And I'm kidding.
I guess he does get blown out the airlock, kind of. She does a horrible job flying this plane.
What? She does a horrible job flying the plane?
Yeah, he told her to just keep it straight and level, and she does anything but that.
Well, she's not used to it. It's a lot of heroin, huh?
Yeah. Well, I guess technically it's opium. Is opium heroin?
I don't. You're right. It's opium. Whatever.
You live in Florida. That's the drug capital of the country.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that.
I saw the trailer for Scarface.
Scarface.
That took place in Miami.
You like the score to that one?
Well, I've never seen Scarface. So.
What?
That was a little violent for me in the early 1980s.
It was a little violent.
I wasn't allowed to watch R-rated movies. My parents loved me.
Oh my goodness! I was watching RoboCop when I was in elementary school.
Yeah, that wouldn't fly at my house.
Look at this. Do it. He may not survive that.
Big Al's giving us a breakdown. Heroin is an opiate drug made from morphine, a natural substance taken from the seed pod of various opium poppy plants. Okay, so opium is heroin? Okay.
He forgot about the bomb, didn't he?
I don't think he got. I mean, he was preoccupied with some other things. Dad's cut close, my friend. 2 seconds.
He's going to yell at her, isn't he? Oh, that's the bomb that he had the timer on, right?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I'm getting little echoes of Star Crash in this theme.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
And David says that bridge is a little miniature thing that they.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, today they would probably just CGI the whole thing.
What does that mean?
And now you're out of gas.
That's not good, right?
No, not in an airplane. Kind of want the spinning thing to keep spinning.
I guess he's gonna have to buckle up, huh?
Hmm. Crash, crash.
You like?
Hmm?
Do you like that? I know a great restaurant garage we just made it.
They got cheeseburgers?
I'm
gonna say probably not.
Is he gonna be posing as one of his statues again and jump out? I guess
Nah.
not.
Playing with his little toys.
He probably would have liked Call of Duty, huh?
I would think so, yeah.
He's got a lot of firepower in there, don't he?
Yeah.
Is that like the tempered glass in his car?
Mhm. That is pretty cool with the shield.
Yeah. He's got a lot of toys. I guess he's supposed to be the zanier Bond villain in this, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Hmm. Mhm. Oh, Titus, buddy, you're fine.
Titus. Is that named after the Shakespeare play?
Um, I guess.
There's a bullet hole in it.
I think that would probably affect the sound. And you get John Barry playing the conductor.
Could she really play the violin in real life?
Well, that's a cello. So,
Cello, the same. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, same thing, right? I mean, yeah.
Anyway, could she? That was my question.
I I don't know, but I'll go with probably no.
Yeah, she got flowers and everything. That character you saw just there, he was always the Russian. He's like the Russian version of M.
Yeah.
So he would show up in other Bond movies. He would pop up every. She's upset.
Thank you, David, for coming by. It's always good to have you in the chat. Of course, you're always welcome to come on a show. I keep telling you. It's not that hard. Boomer and I do it every week. You can do it too.
And here's the other song.
The love theme song.
How long do these credits last?
Not too long. Big Al says he made a mistake. Miriam, his first cousin, once removed of actress Olivia. In the South, it's all good. As long as you're related, it's okay. Swipe right on that profile. Right, Boomer?
No comment there.
Okay.
So you like this song?
Take it or leave it.
Okay, well.
So next week we may do Casino Royale, or we may be watching Raiders of the Lost Ark in the Motion Picture House right down the street.
Well, let me know.
One or the other.
All right.
But what you got coming up this week, Boomer?
Friday I'll be on with Troy Pacelli's channel with his Friday Night Last Call stream. I don't know if we have anything lined up yet though. And Sunday I'll be doing Geeky Geezers with and that should be some news to talk about there. And that's about it. How about you? Anything coming up besides your Wednesday streams? I know you do the unboxings and everything, but
I don't think there's really much else I got going on for next week. I bet Big Al's got some 10 words or less reviews coming up.
Is he going to do a 10 words or less review for Living Daylights?
He should. Thank you, Zootopia, for coming by. I hope you enjoyed the show. Good to see you as always. Big Al says to drop one earlier. We're talking about tomorrow, Big Al. What are you doing tomorrow? Yeah, those are short credits. Well, everyone, as always, thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed the movie. Like I said, next week it may be Casino Royale, or we may push it to the following week. I need to see what the show times are for Raiders of the Lost Ark next week. I'm not missing that. Check out Boomer's channel, Big Al's channel. As always, adopt, don't shop. Keep listening to great film music. And we'll see all of y'all next week or very soon. Take care, everyone.